Hi everyone, I'm Jacob from Bookkeeper, and in this video I'm going to show you the Bkper Tax Bot, how you install it, how you configure it, and how it helps you in everyday bookkeeping. As you can see, I've prepared an empty book, and you have to pay attention to, for example, this tax payable, and I'll use these groups to show you how to set the TaxBot properties. Let's go to our automations to install the TaxBot. So here you have different kind of solutions, and here you find the TaxBot. It comes with a short explanation on how it works. And the most important thing you have to take away from this is that you need a tax rate property and a tax description property. Okay, so press install. That's it. You now have installed your TaxBot. You can see it here on your book, the TaxBot. If it's blue, then everything is okay. If it's red, you might have to check if you have an error and correct that error and do a replay. Okay. Now let's have a look at the properties that the TaxBot needs in order to work. Okay, so I've set my properties on a group in this case. You can do it also on your accounts, but it's easier to do it on a group since you only need to set it once, and the accounts that you add to that group will all have the same conditions for the TaxBot. Okay, so let me edit this for a moment. Put this down. And what you see here in my tax description, I've set the output, the tax payable account, which you can find here on my liabilities. I've used a variable that represents the account of the original transaction that fires the TaxBot, and to put on the new transaction, a hashtag to identify this kind of transactions, and also the original description from the transaction that fires the TaxBot. Let me save this and let's try how this works. So I've done a service for tech design, a customer in New Zealand. It was a professional service, and the total amount was 1,180. When I post this transaction, you will see the TaxBot flicker, so it's triggered. You will see that it quickly books a draft. This will be really fast, and then the Bookkeeper BookBot will complete the transaction. So a lot of things are happening, but you'll see how it works really nicely. There's the transaction. There you saw a moment that it's recorded as a draft, and the Bkper Tax Bot completes the transaction, the tax transaction, right? So these tax transactions, you can always recognize them by the agent. They were booked by the tax bot. I am the person who authorized the tax bot to record transactions on my book. And here you can see how the tax description works out. So remember, I used the output tax account, then a variable that represents the original account that triggers the tax bot, the hashtag, and the original description from the original transaction. Now let's record an expense. So I have my vendor, and it's for software. It's the monthly subscription, and it's $14. And I also set properties, a tax description, and a rate on expenses in this group. Maybe I can expand it. So you see that the software expense is on this group. The same thing will happen. I'll post the transaction, the tax bot kicks in, records the draft, and the Bookkeeper BookBot will complete the transaction for us. There you go. Worked the draft and the final transaction, recognize that it was recorded by the tax bot, and the same logic with the text description. Okay. Now you have here your tax receivable, your tax payable, and I've placed these two accounts in a separate group outside of my balance sheet, outside of the balance sheet hierarchy. And you can see your total tax payable, which you probably have to pay on the end of your tax period for sales, right? Sales tax period. This is very handy to not be surprised at the end of your period with the amount of cash that you need to pay your taxes. Okay, so let me collapse this for one moment. If you don't like to see these auxiliary groups that I've used for this video, what you can do is you can hide these groups. And the other option, of course, is that you use groups within your structure. So I could have used the software account here or another group within my income statement structure. Now, if you like to see these groups, what you can do, you can show them again. So you go to your chart of accounts, show. Okay, now they'll appear again on your balance sheet, on your transactions page. So this is how you can install, configure the tax bot, and you can see how it helps you, like 50% in manual taxes. Every second transaction is booked by the tax bot. It works very accurately. It always works, so it's very good for error reduction. And of course, having a budget of how much sales tax you're gonna have to pay at the end of the period is very helpful for budgeting purposes. So if you like this video, please subscribe. We frequently update our channel with videos like this to get your instructions. And if you have any other question that you would like to see answered in such a video, please write it down in the comments, and we're happy to address it to you. Thank you for watching, and happy bookkeeping.